They turn off a phone wanting to turn off, like,
Yes.
automatically?
It should be in settings.
I don't know. I mean, it's an iPad, but mind you, it's basically the same as a.
Hurry, Google.
iPhone.
How to disable auto sleep on iPad.
Home screen.
To keep your iPad from going to sleep, update the auto lock setting.
Right.
Go to display the iPad settings. Go to display and brightness, and go to auto lock, and set auto lock for never.
All right, done. That was easy. Never.
So now it shouldn't want to turn off.
I'm just gonna plug it into charge, just because.
Yeah. That's what we're wondering. We're wondering if you like lost charge on it and it just like literally turned off.
Yeah, well, it's in charge now, so it should just never turn off now. And then.
Hopefully it doesn't happen then. We fixed the issue, maybe.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
I'm gonna have to remember this for like when I go home.
Here, okay.
Yes.
I got you. iPad settings. Arrow. Display and brightness. Arrow. Auto lock. Arrow. Auto lock equal never. Boom. We did it.
Pin that bitch to the
Pinned it. We did it.
Thing that says pin. There we go.
Yep. Gotta keep this place clean.
I appreciate you guys having my back.
Got you.
And not trusting my shitty memory.
Hey.
If it works, it works.
The catch is when we forget that it's even in the pit.
Here's the thing.
That's the next stage of forgetting.
No, because like we have to open up the enemy damage gauge occasionally, so like that's above.
Oh, we're like, of course.
Yes.
All right, so hopefully that fixed it. And honestly, maybe that. I'm not sure if that's the same issue as you have that your phone.
Is shut off right now, so I don't think so.
Okay, so it's not that. So yours is just fucked. Sorry. But yeah, mission accomplished. Hopefully that solves our problems. But yeah, no, that's Kirsty. Just if the music suddenly goes silent, might be a sign. Might be a sign that yours is also fucky wucky.
Yeah, I mean it's what usually indicates it anyway. I just noticed there and I was like, I've been talking to myself for a while. Okay.
Yeah, so let's get back to that. So what was the last thing we heard? I lost my my short-term memory. What was the last thing we heard? The last thing we heard was you talking to Ruhan about how you couldn't read the symbols, and I was like, that's crazy, man. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I have no idea what that means, mate. I can't remember what I said, to be honest.
Don't worry, I have a story device to help you along. Both your roll perception.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, turn off that guy. He's only getting it right now. Abigail.
Yeah,
actually, no, keep it on. Keep it on.
That's ominous. But cool.
Keep it on. Keep it on. Never mind. Man, he literally got double your roll.
I am the perceiver now.
Look at me. Look at me.
I can't. I rolled a 1.
I will be doing this joke every time.
Anytime you beat her in perceiving stuff, yeah, sure.
Go ahead and get used to that.
I am the
Yeah,
perceiver
imagine
now.
just looking about, being very confused at all the giants.
Yeah, so well, that's the thing. The architecture of like the shelves and the ceiling, which goes up about 90 feet or so, so that should be. So let's see. So people. Or like, if we assume like 5 to 6 feet tall, our stories are 10 feet tall. So if a giant is 10 feet tall, they should probably have a spare 6 to 16 feet stories. Well, I guess it depends on the giant. 90 feet tall, as I was saying.
Yep,
we're about the logistics later. So like the equivalencies of 2 to 3 stories for giants, maybe 4 depending on the smaller ones. But this sort of subterranean, because that's what it seems like. There's no windows. It does seem like you guys are underground. So if it was for something like a stone giant, yeah, 30 feet, 2 stories, 2.5, 3, blah, blah, blah. As I was saying, the architecture is giant. You know, solid stone. Sorry, take I started him, I was hitting my desk. Sorry, buddy. The solid stone structuring of this place. Like, don't get me wrong, the shelves themselves are the equivalencies of interposed slabs with engraving upon them. But the walls themselves also have shelves, and those ones are literally just alcoves carved into the wall, the stone wall itself, and such. So yeah, the architecture is distinctly stone giant, but, and this is probably what caused your Nat 1 Fia, as I said earlier, the books aren't just in giant. Like, you can see the spines, the titles, authors, and such like that. Not just in giant. In fact, it's a minority of the books is giant, or has giant script, which I guess is a coincidence of Dwarvish script. Don't question it. Giant script as their language. Again, there's Common, Elvish. Actually, what languages do you guys know?
Common, Minotaur, Giant.
Bruh.
That'd be it.
Well, there are no books of Nevros, because Nevros doesn't have a written script, but Common, Elvish. Does Primordial have an independent script, or does it steal from Abyssal?
I think Primordial is...
I can't remember.
I don't think it's Abyssal, but I think it just uses some other written language.
Yeah, probably.
I'm checking them. It uses Dwarvish. Interesting.
Oh yeah,
Dwarvish script.
That's pretty interesting. Huh.
I guess dwarves are a bit more attuned with the earth. Well, in this setting, that makes sense. Dwarves have something called the Stone Song, after all. But nonetheless, yeah. So there's languages here of a variety of sorts that you guys can understand and determine, as well as some spare. So neither of you can read Sylvan, but there are some things in Sylvan. Neither of you guys can read Draconic, but that's also on the table. But Infernal is here, Common, Elvish, Giant, Dwarvish, Normal Elvish, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's probably what catches your attention, Fia, are the volumes of vastly diverse information. It changes. Anything from farming almanacs to research reports on climates to books upon the arts of war and tactics and stratagems to autobiographies, fiction books. It all arrays across this place. It's just smorgasbord hodgepodge of different genres of books. Ruhan with a 30, literally double the double nat ones over there. Which I gotta say, you got double nat ones and you still had a 15 anyway, so that's pretty interesting. My paladin player in my Wednesday game would love to have your stuff. She has a +0 perception.
Oh, really?
So anytime she succeeds on a perception check, she's like, she 100% earns it because she has no mods. Yeah, so a 30 perception. Ruhan, you detect a air vortex in the room with you. Sort of there is wind in here, which makes no fucking sense. For the most part, wind does not often go through deeply subterranean environments, but nonetheless, there is wind down here. You can feel it course across your fur and such. And it is culminating, swirling in this vortex, which is sitting, standing present in one of the seats on the table. And there are only 3 seats on the table, 2 on one side, 1 upon the other, and it is in the solo seat. You're also muted. Or he might be busy.
Dog.
Maybe. Hey, Tango.
Just checking on my daughters.
Okay, fair.
Do you feel that fear?
Feel what?
Right, I forgot. You soft-skinned creatures without your fur probably wouldn't even know.
Well, you're soft skinned too, technically. Like this.
Yeah, but he got fur.
Well, I feel like I should be offended by that, but
I feel like
wouldn't it be you don't have fur?
Wouldn't it be the inverse? Doesn't fur trap air to insulate? So wouldn't that mean you don't feel? Anyways.
Nope, felt it. Too late. You described it.
Yeah, no, I'm not going back on my description. I'm just wondering it. Like, I was like, huh, wait a minute.
Maybe he feels the fur moving rather than
yeah, sure, yeah. That's 100% what I meant. Let's go with that. Moving on.
I mean, do you typically get wind underground? Assuming we are. This is the Feywelds, though. I mean.
Well.
Yeah, who knows?
Okay, well. Is that how fairy work? There's a trick to this we have to sort? Some sort of puzzle?
Maybe. I couldn't say I'm an expert. I guess, is there a direction it's coming from? Maybe we could just follow the direction.
Can one of you roll me a 1d2?
Yeah, you got it, Thea.
Okay.
Oh, I think Stop! Tango, don't attack me. Fuck out of here. Piss off. As you guys begin pondering the conundrums of a Fey environment, you do hear chuckling from the space in the sea. I applaud your candor. In a form it's like inversive or reverse Thanos snap. In Thanos they turn to dust and fade away. Well, okay, now take that GIF or sequence and just play it backwards, and so that means Thanos is saving them, dude. He's saving them. He's bringing them back into existence. Yeah, like that. You see a figure apparating. He is a well-dressed man with distinctly that sort of signature amber fey feline eyes, which is the same as my son, who's scratching up my leg right now. Stop. Okay, hold on, give me a second.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I think I'm. Swear to God, if I start booing on the carpet, I'm gonna be pissed. So yeah, this here apparates.
This is your realm, then?
Indeed. And you must be... He wags a finger at each of you in turn as he says, you must be Fia and Ruhan, yes? I've heard so much.
That would make you Lord Cassidy.
Ah. Elegance. Lord, no. I don't claim mortal titles as such. But, seems you know of one of my monikers, so that's good.
Oh.
Welcome.
Thank you.
He looks around at the environment. Interesting place you picked out.
I think it's quite suiting.
Yes. Seekers of knowledge, Bophelia. That would explain the books. And the fact that one of you managed to overpower the other into determining the style of it means that one of you is either very woeful or the other one's not woeful at all. Interesting. Nonetheless.
Your room? This isn't, already here?
It is and it isn't. All will be explained in due time, child.
Needs not to be explained, I understand. It's not a finite thing, it's a construct of the imagination. Therefore, the imagination was always there, and the potentiality for it was just needed to be expressed by us individually.
To a degree. There's another part of it, but I'm sure keen minds such as yourselves will determine such, yes? In due time, at least. But, nonetheless, I did want to talk to you. Both of you.
Oh?
As I've said, I've heard a good deal about you from dear little Abby.
Things I hope.
There were things. Although I assure you she did not try to paint you in a bad light.
Oh, well.
But a parent has to extrapolate. I must ask, on more recent matters, your trip to the Mortal Traders, how was it? I know the details, the circumstances, the setting, as it were, of the story. But what about your thoughts, Fia? Your opinions? Don't lie now.
I don't know, it was interesting, I guess? Or at least the...
Really?
You know... I mean, when you find out a bloomin' forgotten... Not a forgotten, but a hidden... Whatever, like a... that. I mean, it's... You know, it's gonna...
But was it only interesting, or was there something a bit more that you were wondering? Something, I don't know, alluring?
Certainly, like I said, it's like a... yeah, it's just, there's...
Take your time, my dear. Take your time. We're in no rush. Time moves how I determine it here.
Okay.
Do nothing but it.
Is that right?
It cannot move backwards, if that's what you're wondering. Well, he gets a smirk. Never say never, perhaps.
Backwards is not the interesting thing. Forward is.
Yes. Is it? Why? We'll save such matters for another time. I'm more keen on hearing Fia's accounts.
Interesting.
I mean, when you look at it objectively, it's... There's just a lot to be learned from that, whatever it is they've got hidden in there, you know? It's interesting in that sense.
Yes. Knowledge is ever so important, yes?
I mean, I would definitely say it's what's led me here. I sort of gesture.
I assure you,
Mere-
child, more than mere knowledge has led you here.
Well, definitely played a big part, or at least me chasing it anyway. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have gone on that blooming boat.
Ah, there it is. It's not knowledge that got you here, it is the pursuit of it.
I mean, yeah, that would probably be more accurate. I have... What's the term I used last time? An itchy brain?
An interesting phrase. But fitting, I suppose.
And other than that, I mean, you know, the information they've got there, like... Probably spent years in there.
Years
It's
indeed.
incredible, yeah. It was massive. It was literally, like... I sort of turned to Rohan. It was literally like rooms and rooms and rooms of just books. Nothing but books. Millions of them. Like, stories tall. Honestly.
You left that part out.
Yeah, sorry. There was just so much there. Like, can you imagine how much...
Was there any books you recognized? Or were they all new?
Thinking back, was there any? Gosh, I'm trying to remember.
Well, you
It's-
didn't get too
yeah,
close to the shelves themselves. You were sort of posited at a table on the bottom floor and held at gunpoint to
so
stay
we
there.
were,
So
we were. But we did have access to some books, though, didn't we? that they gave, like the safe
Yeah.
quote-unquote ones.
Well, I don't think you guys recognize them because they were new to you. That's why, like, that you learned.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
They're recognizable. The fuck is that? That's got to be a wasp or a termite nest.
It's just on this
Ooh.
tree. It's solid.
That's pretty
though.
cool.
Petrified sap, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
It could be. Actually, yeah, it looks like it's got the air bubbles.
Because
Yeah, it's
that would
got
explain the
air bubbles.
crystallized look of it, because sap has a sheen
Wow.
from the oils in it.
Mhm.
And it would explain the
Crazy.
holes, because like it would create porous spots in its
Huh.
culmination. That's really weird, though. It looks a bit disconcerting. And this is the sort of picture you would send to like a horror artist who would Photoshop in like an evil creature in the shadows of it, really subtly.
Noted for evil druid.
Gotcha. Hey, Tingo. Anyways. Change it. Stop looking at that. Just go to the channel. Stop looking at it. Yeah. Interesting. What about here? He gestures at the books nearby. This
I mean,
seems
I'm not gonna
to
lie,
endlessly.
it certainly caught my interest.
Well, that's good.
But I mean, if we're the ones that, I don't know, imagined it, quote unquote, are they actually books, or are they just figments of our imagination? Like everything around here.
Imagination. You both throw around that term so wantonly. This is the
Well, I don't
Fey
think so.
Wilds, my dear. Your imaginations are merely the tip of the iceberg. It is not merely your imaginations here. But I am sure you will both experience that in due and proper time when you begin trekking through it. Accompanying Abigail and such, yes. But I don't mean to exclude at all. He turns his attention to you, Ron. On more mundane, no, mundane is such a wounding word. Personal matters. Abigail's told me a good bit about you. About how you've had a recent tumble of ethics. Console yourself in drink. I must ask, as a parent and as an inquisitive figure, do you know how much you're poisoning yourself in doing so? And I don't mean by alcohol. I mean in a sense of mind.
Given the quantity, frequency, duration, probably a decent bit. The liver's probably grown sizably.
My drink. What are you trying to numb? Eh? I assure you the
Well-
drink does nothing in making it go away.
Perhaps not, but I was told not to give information away so freely.
And from whom did you hear that? Not that it's wrong, but I'm curious.
Someone you taught well.
I taught well. Well, that certainly narrows it to one of two options. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, he gestures at the books. If either of you wish to go partake in any of it, be my guest. And yes, I do mean guest. Welcome to my home.
Perhaps I shall.
Okay.
You mentioned you can change time, correct?
I can affect it in my domain, and my domain's relations to what you would refer to as the real world. Do they still call it that these days? I hope they change the term.
In a sense, I suppose.
It's a matter of education, outright. Like, I want to say Hicks, but like less educated people would just say the real world because it's what's real to them.
Mhm.
Educated minds are referred to as the mortal realm, which implies that there's immortal realms and such like that, which is Feywilds, the Hells, Divines. Like, there's a bunch of stuff. The prime material is what elementals and things delineated from that call it, because it is the culmination of material. So thusly the prime material. So it's not like the elemental plane of fire, which is fire, or the plane of water, which is water, just a lot of water. So yeah, elementals would often refer to as the prime material.
Mhm.
So they're all technically referring to the same thing. It just has different connotations to it, as previously discussed with Mercury and Quicksilver. Like, it's talking about the same thing, but I just call it the same thing because that's how language works, dummy. Language is stupid like that, and brilliant, but also stupid. Hang up.
Excuse me?
All good, all good. So, either of you guys want to go look amongst the books?
I mean, I'd be sorely tempted.
That's up to you. You have accepted guesthood in Cassiver's abode, meaning you're now set in a series of intrinsic rules of...
Oh, fuck, yeah, that's a thing. Okay, I
Well,
forgot
it's not
about that.
terribly bad. If anything, it's more for your protection than his. Yeah, he could probably backhand one of you and kill you instantly.
Yeah, like, if you offend him or something, or...
Well, no,
like,
that's
wear a
sort of the
welcome,
thing. Like, he can't attack you at all. Hosts can't attack guests. Controversially, guests can't attack hosts. Or other guests. Doing so breaks the terms of agreement. Which means you're either... Depends on how alleged you are as a guest. Which is in a vastly a vastly different tacit field. But more or less boils down to you either just simply break your guestship, so you're not a guest anymore, or you're considered an oath breaker. Or not an oath breaker, a word breaker. Which means every elder power in existence knows you're not a trustworthy source.
That sounds like a speedy way to become a smear on the ground.
Yeah, again, as Abigail has mentioned and Connor might have brought up to you guys, Cassiver is the child of a god. He's the child of Multiface Seshub. He's a progeny, rather, Multiface Seshub. So he is in the weird categorization of both Fae and Celestial. So when he says don't lie, he means he can detect lies. Like angels can. He knows when you're lying. So yeah, you guys are guests in the home now, so don't attack people. But I hope you don't just wantonly attack people anyways, but hey, now you really shouldn't. But yeah. You guys want to go look at the books?
To pull out the tome that I have.
Ah, I knew that's where you're going with it. Is it called the tome? I thought it was like manual or something.
It's a manual. Manual bodily.
Yeah, manual, yeah. There's only 2, right? Or is there 4?
3 tomes. Manuals for physical, tomes for mental.
Okay, so there's one for each stat.
It just clicked for me. That's clever.
Is there one for each stat, or is it like there's 2?
Yeah, one for each stat.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn it was a 2 for 1. What am I thinking of then? Whatever.
Maybe the 19 items where there's only int and strength. Oh, and there's con as well.
There you go. He gets a smirk as you pull it out. It's been a while since we've seen one of those. I suppose you would want me to help accelerate it.
I would ask no such thing.
Right. We'll see.